Central Bank of Nigeria has directed all commercial banks to open for operation on Saturdays and Sundays as part of a coordinated effort to ease circulation of banknotes of various denominations. The Apex Bank also confirmed the evacuation of banknotes from its vaults to commercial banks across the country. This latest development was disclosed in a statement signed by CBN Acting Director of Corporate Communications Department, Isa Abdul Momin, in Abuja on Friday afternoon earlier today. Now, the statement noted that a substantial amount of money in various denominations had been received by commercial banks for onward circulation to their respective customers, even as it prevailed on banks to conduct physical operations in banking halls through the weekends. Now, let's get talking now. Well, Ambrose, I'm looking at, we've discussed these. We said, okay, the CBN, finally, I think this is the decisive action or step, more definite action taken by CBN so far since the issue of, this cash scarcity started.
No, actually, I think I told you before now that to push back what we do kind of withdraw from the system won't be overnight. It will be a gradual process. Like I said earlier before now that today I had news that people can have access to 20, 50, 30K from their bank. That means not 5,000 we're having before. Good. But don't forget that this money that going back to the system,
right?
It's not going to be the way it came. Now, those restrictions, what will I put now, is the restriction that you can't withdraw more than 150 per day, and you're going to it's still there because if,
I think it's 500,000 for individual now, and then 5 million naira for corporate, organizations.
I think this still remains so that we can still monitor how the money. Also, the good thing is that since CBN and the financial regulators, others, they have things to do that. How the money came back, we were able to put money back.
Was withdrawn.
Yes, all eyes are open now. How it's going to go back in? Those that are also putting money in their kitchen, I think that will reduce. But the good that we need this money to go back to the system so that it can now oil the economic activity, because of this cash issue, it's like our economy is halted somehow, and that is why we recorded that kind of contraction in the month of February. And I believe that gradually, if March is already gone, it's possible that we'll remain that territory until April we'll start seeing improvement. And that tells you that if we're able to push this cash to the system, that means from second quarter we might see a relief, because if we're not taking what we are seeing this quarter might come affect the economy either in third quarter or fourth quarter if not quickly addressed. I believe that is why CBN have put on them to push money back to the system, and also mandate the banks to work on Saturday so that more money will go back to the system and the pressure will come down and we'll see normal business. That cash is part of the economy. You can't totally rule cash out of, even though we are doing a cashless economy, there are some business that you need cash. For me, if you want to do, let's say for example, now you're on the way, you want to add fuel, kind of inflate your tire, you want to add, you can't be transferring money to that kind of person if you don't have account, or even though you transfer, I told you that it's not there. And you have to wait.
Which was the character, or the character this season, where if you're in a bus or you're transporting, you have to transfer. If it's about 200 naira transport fare, you still have to make transfer. So, and it was becoming difficult. In most cases, they couldn't even
Even when you transfer, and when I've not gotten a light, it will delay you. And there was a place I wanted to just do transaction. I transferred, they debited me. I have to wait for another 1 hour before the person okay, I've sent the alert. If I'm going somewhere, that 1 hour, I believe that also, as CBN is making effort to push this cash back to the system, they should also make effort that the banks kind of upgrade their platforms, so that this hit or delay was
payment platform.
Yes, and also it's good that also they are moving away POS operation from the banks to private to another set of banking. That's why CBN said now federal more the banks should now not do POS business again. That means all these POS should now go and register with the 11 approved operators now to handle POS. That means we're expecting to also improve the system. Let the banks feed their bill. We can do our normal transaction with our ATM on the board. In terms of POS, CBN is putting away from the bank so that the banks can concentrate, because we saw the play of POS within this period. Most of them have used the opportunity to capitalize. Nigerians that I was happy with. I was sorry annoyed that somebody is saying For me to get 1,000 naira, I need to pay 300 in Nigeria. My friend tell me that you need to pay money now to get money in Nigeria. But
I think at a point it was 30% over whatever you're getting,
well,
especially
me,
if you're getting like 5,000 or 10,000.
If really was serious and CBN is trying to go into this open open bank operation that want to run, that also now link up to POS operators. That would be nice. Let the banks put that in. But in one way or the other, I think also it's going to affect bank performance. But there is no, before now the banks have been surviving. But putting away this POS business to another bank, that will have
because I wanted to ask you what is likely to change now that we are going to have cash back into the system. But more importantly, the reason why people are criticizing the CBN governor not to have taken or to have waited to this time before taking a decisive step to address this is because the country lost about 20 trillion naira. The economy lost about 20 trillion naira. So now that we're back perhaps to the status quo, what is likely to change? Who is going to lose out? Who is going to win? Holistically.
For me, there's no loser, there's no gainer. It's for all the betterment of Nigeria. Let me tell you, for the policy was, the plan was perfect. Implementation had issue, but it's wrong for you to implement something or have a plan and it failed and you continue in that direction. Like I tell you that if you are going to Abuja, you are on the wrong road. You can't get to Abuja. Now that you know that your strategy has failed, you come back to implement and move better. It's better for me. Nobody is winning, nobody is losing. It's for the betterment of Nigeria, because I tell you the policy alone is a good one, because I can say for all this right now, I tell you the noise of kidnapping has reduced a lot of that, but that is not the work of CBN. But you can also use sort of thing to help the security people to improve their activity, their activities. But I believe that now that we are gotten it right now, let's push this money back. But I'll tell you, the money collected, you can't push such a thing back to the system. It's not going to be possible.
Well, you said something earlier that perhaps these operators are going to be withdrawn from POS operators, perhaps will be affected, the operation will be affected. They were perhaps the winners in the real sense in the first time, but it looked like they are going to be losing out. Isn't that a change in a way that the fact that we're having this old Naira back in the system looks like it's also going to, is coming with another approach or policy now where CBN will say, okay, go and register with these other, like you said earlier. Isn't that a way of losing out?
They've gained advantage. They're not losing out because their commission is still there. Only that they were what we call a profiteering. That's what happened. That it was not that they are not making money before. It was profiteering they are doing because they are earning assets. No, the commission become assets. Also, they also pay money to get it. That means, if you look at it, you can't blame them so much. Only that they go above the board.
What the policy has created, the system has created.
Yes, but I believe that even at this system of having another people to work with, it's also a good one, because I tell you, in a matured economy, you see less of cash, and let's go there gradually. I believe that CBN should do more of education now. To the villages and try to tell them why this thing, so that I know that before December 31st this year, then we can now launch another platform again that will support.
But again, one thing we also need to bring into conversation is that yes, it's okay to have the old Naira note in circulation, but more importantly, we need to start seeing this new Naira note, because it's not even out there.
The two of them are going soon now. They are coming together. Only that, as I said earlier, the money that will drop from the system back to the bank will not going to come out. It's going to be gradually, but don't expect that about 2.20 trillion the withdrawal will go back to the economy. It's not possible.